Hi everyone, my name is Austin. I have a degree in finance and I'm going to show you the best order to invest your money and help you grow your wealth. Investing can be confusing and overwhelming, especially if you don't know where to start. Should you start with a 401k account? Should you start investing in your Robinhood account? An HSA account? Well, I'm going to show you what I think are the best options and in what order. We will start with the most important and the highest returns and break that all the way down to the least important at the end. I'll break down the accounts and then explain the yearly returns for each account, and honestly, these answers might surprise you because this is something I wish someone would have told me. So let's get right into it. The first and most important thing you need to do with your money is build an emergency fund. This is like a savings account that has enough money to cover expenses for like 3 to 6 months. Some experts might even recommend more, like Dave Ramsey, who would probably say save a year's worth of expenses and live like a monk. JK. An emergency fund is like a cushion that protects you from financial shocks and stress. You never know when life is going to throw you a curveball, like losing your job, getting sick, or maybe even just having your car break down. And trust me, you don't want to be in a situation where you have to decide between paying your rent and fixing your car. I've been there and it's not fun. According to the latest data, the average monthly expenses for the American household was $5,571 last year. That's a lot of money to make every month just to keep the lights on or just feed your family. So by having 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses saved up, you can have that peace of mind and breathing room just in case something terrible would happen. And you might be wondering about how much return you can get on your emergency fund. And well, the answer is none. But that's not the point. The point is you have a safety net now that you can avoid your debt. It'll help you with stress, anxiety, and that honestly is priceless. And what's not priceless is smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I guess I can't pay you, but it's priceless. Another awesome way to grow your money is to take advantage of the 401k match. This is the best investment you can make because it's the only one that will get you 100% guaranteed returns. Let me show you. At many jobs, your employer will match a percentage of your income or salary and they will put that into a 401k account for you. For example, if your employer matches 50% of your contributions up to 6% of your salary, that means if you put in 6% of your salary, they will add another 3%. That's like a free 3% raise just for having a retirement account. And then you can watch compound growth do its magic and watch your money multiply over time. Guys, this is a no-brainer. But there's a catch. Sometimes your employer will have something called a vesting schedule, which means that you have to work for them for a certain amount of time before you can actually keep their matching contributions. For example, if you have a 3-year vesting schedule, you have to stay with them for 3 years or else you will lose their match that they put in. This is just the company's way to keep you loyal and motivated to the brand and helps you do good work. But always take the biggest match you can get as it's the highest return on investment you can find. Unless you hate your job and you plan on quitting tomorrow, then maybe think twice. One of the best things that you can do with your money is to pay off that high interest debt, which can save you or yield a return of 20 to 30% a year. I know this doesn't sound exciting, but trust me, it is a game changer, especially if you have credit card debt, which is the worst kind of debt you want to have. The US credit card debt just hit $1 trillion, which is more than what we are spending on the national defense, and that's just insane. And I hate to see you get trapped in credit card debt because it's charging you crazy high interest rates, sometimes even over 20%. But here's how the interest rates will work against you. Let's say you have a credit card that charges 20% interest. That means you're losing 20% of your money every year just for having the debt. But if you pay it off, you're essentially saving 20% a year. So paying off high interest debt is like making a 20% investment, and that's a pretty good return. The types of debt I would focus on would be credit cards, payday loans, and any type of debt that's about 8% or more. This will save you a ton of money on interest, fees, and will also free up some extra cash flow for investing. And personally, my favorite way that you can pay off this debt is something called the avalanche method. This means that you pay off the debt with the highest interest rates first while making minimum payments on the rest. This way you get rid of the most expensive debt first and save the most money at the end on interest. Think of it like your house might be on fire. You want to put out the biggest flames first before it spreads and causes more damage to the rest of the home. And the next one on our list for growing your money is the health savings account. This can yield you between 8 to 10% a year. This is a special account that lets you save money on medical expenses and enjoy tax benefits. The HSA has a triple tax advantage, so you can deduct your contributions from your tax, your money grows tax-free, and you can withdraw it tax-free for a qualified medical expense. This can help you be prepared for an unexpected medical situation without worrying about the cost. And trust me, you do not want to be caught off guard by these medical surprise bills from your doctor and dentist. And I learned that the hard way. Thank you, teeth. And unlike other accounts that lock your money away for a specific purpose, the HSA allows you to withdraw from it penalty-free once you hit the age of 65. So it's not only a smart way to save for your health, but it's also a smart way to save for your future. And who knows, maybe by that time you have enough money to buy a yacht. The HSA can also give you a good return on your money as it grows around 8 to 10% per year depending on what you invest in it. That's better than savings accounts and CDs. And remember, you don't have to pay taxes on that, which is just that much sweeter. The next thing that you should consider with your money is to contribute to your retirement accounts that don't have a match. This might be a little bit more controversial because some people prefer the Roth IRA while some prefer the traditional 401k, but I think both are good options, and if you have the money, it might as well max out both. But why save for retirement? You might be thinking how young you are, you have so much time left. Well, according to a recent survey, 40% of workers estimate that they will need at least $1 million to retire comfortably. That's a lot of money, and you don't want to retire on Social Security or your kids to support you. But here's the catch. You can't touch this money until 65 without a penalty. So this is not a short-term investment, but a long-term. Now, let me explain the differences between the Roth and the traditional 401k. A traditional 401k lets you save money before taxes, which means that you pay less taxes now, but you'll pay more taxes later when you go to withdraw it. Now, the Roth IRA lets you save money on taxes, which means you pay more taxes now, but you will not pay any taxes when you go to withdraw it. So which one is better? Well, it depends on your situation, your preferences, but personally, I think the Roth is more powerful. Why? Because it will give you more flexibility, and I think the less risk is such a big thing. The Roth has more flexibility because you can withdraw your contributions, but not your earnings, at any time without penalty. This can be useful in the case of an emergency, or maybe it's time to make a big purchase like a home. The Roth IRA has less risk because you don't have to worry about your tax rates in the future. The Roth IRA also has less risk because you don't have to worry about your taxes in the future. You already paid your taxes up front, so whatever you have in your account now is yours to keep. But the traditional 401k, you don't know what tax rates are going to be when you retire. So like, what if they go up to 40% or higher? Then you're going to have to pay a big chunk to Uncle Sam, and no one wants to do that. I like to keep things simple and predictable, so when it comes time to retire, I prefer the Roth IRA over the traditional 401k. So the next investment to make is medium interest debt. This is the kind of debt that many Americans have, especially student loans, and the return on paying off this debt is around 3 to 8% per year. I know how it feels to have student debt, because I have plenty of it myself. Unfortunately, I was not born into a rich family. So I had to take out loans, and I am working to pay those off. So if you're the average student debt, you hold about $17,000 in loans. So don't feel like you're the only one out there with debt. But by paying off this medium interest debt, it's not only good for your finances, but also good for your mental health. It can help you reduce your stress, your anxiety. It just gives you more freedom to enjoy life. You don't want to be stuck with debt for decades and pay thousands to interest. So just pay it off right now, and then you'll be good. It's a 3 to 8% investment. Next up, yielding between 4 and 8% are taxable accounts. These are accounts that you set up on your own to buy something like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, real estate, you name it. These are still investments, but when it's time to go and sell, you are going to be left with a pretty hefty tax bill. These accounts will provide more flexibility than other retirement accounts that I was talking about earlier. That is one reason I would consider knocking this one maybe up the order a little bit if you are younger, especially if you might be looking to buy a house. You do have to pay taxes on gains and dividends every year that you collect something. But if you're young, it may be helpful because you're trying to save for that big down payment. And there's obviously no penalties for taking your money out on this one. This is exactly what we are currently doing. It's my opinion that there's going to be a nice real estate correction coming sometime this year. So we are saving money in a taxable account, specifically the Robinhood Cash Sweep program, yielding about 4.5% a year, which is just such a crazy good deal. There's actually a link below just in case you are interested too. Our thought process is invest money in assets that make sense right now. That way, when it's time to come buy a house, we can take it out, throw it at the home. It beats leaving it just as cash and doing nothing. The last step I think you should consider is to pay off your mortgage and other low interest debt. Maybe it's your house, or maybe it's that 0% interest loan that Nana won't shut up about. No, but seriously, the mortgage one will depend on your situation. If you have a mortgage in the 2 to 3% range, you might be better off not paying it off early. Here's a little tip. Anytime you have a loan that is lower than the rate of inflation, keep it. You might think I'm crazy, but hear me out. Let's say inflation is 5% and your mortgage rate is 3%. That means you're actually making 2% by just keeping your loan. How? Because inflation is making your money worth less over time, but your loan stays at the same value. So essentially, you're paying back less than what you actually borrowed for. That's pretty cool. But if you're happy with your investing in all the other categories and you want to be debt-free, then go ahead, pay off your mortgage, and then celebrate and enjoy that financial freedom. So this was kind of a one-size-fits-all approach, and this won't be everyone's best solution, but in speaking in generalities, this is a great guideline. You have to consider your goals, your risk tolerances, your time horizon, and your personal preferences. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. I'd love to hear from you and help you out. If you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It helps me out so much. Thank you again, and I will see you on the next one.